Good day. This is your real estate housing market review for the North Okanagan for January of 2025. Sorry, 2026. So the North Okanagan is just doing slightly better than the Central Okanagan, but it's still a relatively flat, almost buyer's market. As you can see in this, let me just, so you can see this highlighted. That's the absorption, 13.26%. And so this figure over next to it is the inventory, the housing inventory. So there was 264 houses on the market on January 1st of 2026, and 13.26% of them sold. So what that means is it is in the very, very lower level, or very much the lower level of the balanced market range. So, and the other indicators sort of back that up. If you whip over here to prices, so you take the individual months, so there's 35 sales in January of 2026. Go up here, there's 45 sales. That says it's down dramatically. And not dramatically, but you get my drift. And in January of 2024, which was still in the correction years, 2023, right up to about halfway through 2024, the market was correcting from that huge surge of COVID. So, but if we go down here and we take a running average of November, December, January of 2025 and 2026, and look over here, the average is 43 sales per month. And if we take November to January of 24 to 25, the average was 46. So down slightly, but not a lot. Prices, if we go over here and take an average of the last 3 months, the average sale price of a house in North Okanagan in the last 3 months, November, December, January, was $788,000. If we go up and choose November to January here, a year before, it was 773. So actually up slightly, but I would say relatively flat. The North Okanagan market is relatively flat and is, along with the rest of the areas in British Columbia and probably across this country, you're going to see a relatively flat market for the rest of 2026. You'll see some areas inch up. Maybe the North Okanagan gets back up into that 14, 15, 16% absorption rate and get these sales back up. You might see a bit of an increase just because of the rebound factor. But there's still way too much uncertainty, as with the rest of the zones, and what's going on in the United States, what's going on in the world as far as a trade war, what's going on as far as the foreign buyers ban in British Columbia. It affects the coast a lot more than it does the interior, but it still does affect the interior. Until some of those negatives get either taken away or the demand starts to increase that takes their effects away, you're not going to see a lot of difference in the market. It's going to stay down for a little while. That's your housing market report for the North Okanagan for January of 2026.